Rendlesham is situated in a landscape rich in history, once serving as a royal estate centre with discovered human artefacts dating back to the Bronze Age. Rendlesham's growth was significantly shaped by its strategic importance during and after World War II, and is now a vibrant community with a mix of historical features. In the 1950s, the first residential buildings were built within a wooded avenue that led up to Rendlesham Hall, a large manor house demolished in 1949. There remain to this day several veteran and ancient English oak trees from this avenue, some of which have been around since the beginning of the Renaissance. These trees now find themselves in a very different setting, surrounded by a continued and changing built environment that hasn't considered their requirements as complex living systems. This has posed a significant challenge to their health and future survival, resulting in their decline. This narrative uncovers a crucial aspect of our relationship with nature amidst urban growth. In the UK, we are lucky to have a great number of ancient and veteran trees of global renown as a result of our unique history. The term veteran denotes a tree that is of interest biologically, culturally, or aesthetically because of its age, size, or condition. With age, characteristics such as a hollow trunk, holes and cavities, deadwood, bark gloss, fungi, and many saproxylic organisms emerge. These features provide rare and declining habitats throughout Europe, supporting both above-ground and soil biodiversity. They contribute to carbon storage, water retention, and microclimate regulation. In terms of scientific research, they can offer insights into climate history, ecology, and conservation, and are important genetic resources for the future. As well as being important keystone organisms, they connect us to folklore, history, and sociocultural practices, contribute to community identity, a sense of place, and offer recreational and educational opportunities. Ancient and veteran trees are in global decline. This has detrimental consequences to wildlife and biodiversity in urban environments. Key threats include poor management practices, urbanization, and climate change. Data from the ancient tree inventory indicates root compaction as the main threat, and oak trees were identified as having the most threats relative to other genera. Few studies have investigated the decline of veteran trees in urban landscapes, but evidence shows the main predisposing causes to be injuries sustained in construction and roadwork activities that cause root damage or soil disturbance, harsh urban microclimates, and poor soil conditions. Furthermore, trees are either severely pruned or removed in urban areas due to a conflict with human safety policies. Tree owners have a duty of care under the Occupiers' Liability Acts, but while hollow-bearing trees may appear unstable, they are rarely a cause for concern, and many have stood the test of time. Our trees of interest bisect Rendlesham lengthways, passing through both publicly and privately owned land. Key stakeholders include Rendlesham Parish Council, Suffolk Highways, East Suffolk County Council, and private individuals and businesses. Most of the Rendlesham veteran trees have historically been severely topped or lopped, not to be confused with pollarding, leading to severe stress and harm to their health, structure, and aesthetic appearance. Further injuries sustained in roadworks and construction activities have also likely caused root damage and soil disturbance. Unprotected rooting areas suffer from compaction by parked cars, mowing, and foot traffic. Impermeable surfaces limit water and nutrient availability. Veteran trees have had little legal protection in their own right until recently. They are now recognised as irreplaceable habitat in the National Planning Policy Framework. Biodiversity net gain under the Environment Act will further help safeguard veteran trees in future developments. Historically, veteran trees have been protected under tree preservation orders, usually as a reaction to planning applications or legislation protecting other species such as bats, habitats, or scheduled ancient monuments. These can, however, be overridden for health and safety reasons or national infrastructure projects. Rendlesham is outside a conservation area, and without tree preservation orders, the veteran trees remain unprotected. As compaction is an identified stressor for the veteran trees in Rendlesham, let's look at a case study presented by the Ancient Tree Forum focusing on the 200-year-old sweet chestnut. The base of the tree had suffered from serious damage and compaction over many years. We can see a decline in the upper crown in 2015 and the formation of a lower crown. In 2016, a routing area for work was determined and a sign erected to explain the work to the public. An air spade was used to decompact the soil, high-quality topsoil was then added and defibrated wood added on top as a mulch layer. Monitoring in 2018 indicated continued retrenchment but good shoot growth in the lower crown. This case study highlights the potential for soil amelioration as a means to reverse veteran tree decline. But veteran trees are vulnerable to change. Their response to soil amelioration is an under-researched area, and cautionary tales from professionals indicate that any work carried out in the rooting area should be staged over years and tree response carefully monitored. Further guidance tells us to systematically assess the soil conditions to identify the appropriate need for remediation and improve the soil rooting environment in relation to condition, structure, aeration, as well as biology and chemistry. Policymakers need to be informed of the importance of large old trees to amend protocols so that ancient trees are afforded better protection. Veteran trees need to be recognised in urban management and planning policies with tougher tree protection and enforcement measures. Our veteran trees in Rendlesham should be included in the neighbourhood plan. Urban environments provide opportunities for innovative tree management, community engagement and people-led conservation strategies. The involvement of the community is regarded as a key element for a successful tree management and conservation plan. Education should not be underestimated, as greater awareness and knowledge about the environment increases pro-environmental behaviours and informed decision-making. For example, seeding this awareness could be done through information boards placed in front of important trees. Rendlesham would benefit from a tree strategy and a tree warden to spearhead it, as behaviour change is also the responsibility of those professionals who communicate and engage with the public. A management plan should be implemented for each tree that considers both the individual and the site, especially the rooting area. Management plans are essential in that they give clear instruction, continuity over time, and explain to others what is being done and why. Monitoring and management should be carried out only if essential, by experienced professionals in veteran tree management following best practices. Several socio-cultural factors have negatively impacted veteran trees in Rendlesham village. Social inertia and limited research on species and context-specific responses of veteran trees to cultural practices will likely mean the loss of some of these magnificent organisms. However, by raising awareness of their presence and meaning, we may develop a relationship in which we can coexist, learn from them, save some, and recruit new trees as veterans of the future. This can be done through education across disciplines, good communication in planning, across professions and among stakeholders to create cohesive policies, procedures, relationships and resources with strong enforcement.